Welcome to the part two of the 7 markers to note before embarking on your brand building. The fourth marker is knowing your numbers. A lot of business people or entrepreneurs will tell you that I don't like mathematics, I don't like financials, I don't like, even if you're going to employ a finance person at the end of the day, as a business owner, you need to understand your numbers. You need to know your revenue, your gross sales revenue. You need to understand your cost analysis. You need to know your margin. You need to know your profit before tax. You need to know your profits after tax. So all these are the numbers that will help your business to grow because it matters to the brand. Because if a brand is not profitable, you will not start thinking of, okay, I want to intentionally build my brand. I want to do this. I want to do that. All this boils down to a business that has started churning in some good revenues. And if your revenue portfolio is nothing to write home about, I think what you need to start doing is you set out to achieve some numbers. That's where marketing comes in. Okay. So all these together, they contribute to building an effective brand, because a brand that is not profitable, at least to stable, that brand cannot take care of its staff, the team, and all the expenses that comes with business. And also, knowing your numbers, you need to know how much you want to spend to get your customer. In marketing, it is called customer acquisition cost. Either online, either offline, depending on where or what you are doing, you need to understand numbers. The fifth one is, as a business owner, you have a story, right? You have a story, and you begin to inspire people to move with you. Your story should be able to inspire your customers. Every one of us has a story. And once you can connect your story to your brand and probably to how you want to serve people, you would see that that story will become an inspiration. And a lot of people, a lot of customers will want to follow your story because they want to see that transformation. Maybe they've been where you've been. So when you tell a story, you're telling a story to inspire them to do more. You're not just selling a product. You want to tell a story to inspire them, to wake them up, to get them moving. So the sixth one is to be honest about yourself. Be honest about your skills. Be honest about your strength. You know, another thing that is very, very important is to perform what we call a SWOT analysis. What's your strength? What's your weakness? What are the opportunities and what are the threats? The SWOT analysis is an in-house framework that brands use to assess themselves so that it gives them a proper understanding of where they are, of what they need to do, opportunities they need to take advantage of, the threats that they need to mitigate, as well as their strength. When you see what your competition is doing, yours is to leverage your own capabilities where they are not doing anything. Because branding is actually a leverage, marketing is a leverage. Because what is a leverage? A leverage is something that helps you to do more with less. So you want to get across to about 500 to 1,000, 2,000 customers. You can't do that by word of mouth alone. So you need to bring in marketing. You need to bring in branding. You need to start shaping perception. You need to start doing what people would see to say, oh, okay, I think I can go with this brand. Never overpromise. Underpromise and over-deliver. I'm trying to choose my words so that it doesn't feel like probably I'm too technical or something. I want every business owner that watches my video to have a clear understanding of what I mean. And there's a lot of gain in branding and marketing if you can do it right. I've never seen a brand or a business that says they prioritize marketing and branding and they miss it, except probably they are not doing something right. All those ones we are going to talk about them probably in some other sessions. Your first encounter with your customer would actually decide if the customer will continue with you. So your customer experience and your other stuff, you need to be able to understand what is it that you can do. So the seventh and the last marker before you embark on branding is be clear about where you're going. You need to have a vision of where you're going. What's your goal? Be clear on your business goals. Be clear on your vision. Be clear on your mission. Do you want to grow fast? Do you want to make more profits? Are you building a long-term business? All these questions, they would actually point you to the right path. You have to be clear, in fact, laser clear, and be brutally honest with yourself about where you're going. A lot of business owners aren't going nowhere. They just want to make money, but they don't have vision. How do you inspire? How do you get people to move? How do you get people to start to think about your brand differently? So all these are the markers you need to put in place. Those are the 7 markers. Why does this matters? Why do you have to put all this in place before you start talking to probably a professional brand consulting person or a brand strategist? That's okay, I want to start building my business brand intentionally. Either you like it or not, it points you to the right direction. And what this benefits you is that you start to think differently from other brands. You start to think with your customers in mind. You start to look at how you want to position yourself. You start to look at how you want to curate experiences, because branding is all about creating experiences, perception, building perception of how you want to be perceived in the marketplace. Thank you very much for this session. I am Taiwo, Sowore, Africa's foremost brand virtuoso.